Capcom announces Onimusha. Way of the Sword is coming in 2026. After an 18-year hiatus, Capcom's samurai series Onimusha is making a comeback with Way of the Sword. The trailer showcases full 3D combat, the protagonist's signature Oni Gauntlet, and some challenging bosses. Onimusha Way of the Sword is set to release in 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC via Steam. Onimusha Way of the Sword takes place in Kyoto during the early Edo period. In this time of relative peace for Japan, Malice has befallen the ancient city. Twisted into an eerie and unsettling place, Kyoto has been infested by the demonic Genma. A lone samurai armed with the Oni Gauntlet engages in fierce, blood-soaked sword fights with these hellish creatures from another world. Capcom has announced a new entry in the Onimusha series, titled Onimusha: Way of the Sword. This Japanese-inspired dark fantasy game is set to release globally in 2026, marking the first new title in the franchise in over 20 years. The game takes place at the start of the Edo period in Kyoto, which has been transformed into an eerie setting. A lone samurai steps forth, wielding the legendary Oni Gauntlet, and engages in brutally graceful sword fights, wiping his brow of sweat and blood. What path will he take, and what is the reason behind those battle-worn eyes? Capcom's announcement of Onimusha: Way of the Sword at the Game Awards 2024 has sparked excitement among fans of the action-adventure series. The game is slated for release in 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC via Steam. This new installment marks the first mainline Onimusha game in nearly 2 decades, following Onimusha: Dawn of Dreams, released in 2006. Fans are anticipating a return to the series' roots with Way of the Sword. The focus on sword combat and the Edo period setting evoke the feel of the earlier games. The graphical fidelity of current-generation consoles and PCs should bring a new level of visual detail to the Genma and the environments. Stay tuned for more information on Onimusha: Way of the Sword, coming to PlayStation 5 in 2026. To all the Onimusha fans who have waited this long for our reawakening, thank you for all the support you've shown us over the years. We're back,